Greetings. Once again, back at the exercise. Still at it, actually. I'm trying to make this a regular habit. And after the long time that I've had of not having such a habit, forming this habit is, well, it's easier said than done. I mean, when you wake up in the morning, the last thing you want to do is get on this bike or a treadmill, or go lift some weights, or jog around the block, or whatever it is you do. And it takes a while to build that up into enough of a habit that it becomes less of a chore and more of something you just plain do automatically. I'm working on that. Right now it's still in the chore phase, and it's a major chore. What I've got to talk about while I'm doing this time has to do with one of the big problems when it comes to losing weight is the sugars and carbohydrates. Any kind of natural sugars, or actually just about any kind of sugars, fructose, sucrose, sucralose, glucose, just about any of those things that end in "ose." They're sugars of one kind or another. And when you eat things that contain them, the body processes them and they become transformed into glucose. And then when your blood glucose level goes up, this causes the pancreas to dump out insulin, and the insulin processes the blood sugar, that glucose, into fat. Causes the body to stop burning fat and start storing it, basically. In the process of doing this, the insulin that got dumped into the bloodstream is used up, and it of course has used up the blood sugar as well, which means you're then having a blood sugar low. And this blood sugar low leaves you tired, hungry, and pretty much wanting more of the sugary or carbohydrate content, which was just going to get in there and start running that cycle again. Because the sugars come in here, transform them into glucose. Some of it goes to power the body, and other of it that the body doesn't need is transformed into fat. It's stored as fat. Now the carbohydrates, what's with them? Okay, carbohydrates get converted to glucose as well. So there's another reason for your blood glucose level to skyrocket after you load down on them carbs. You pastaholics, you know what I mean. And I know what I'm talking about. I'm a pastaholic myself. I have for entirely too long believed that there is no such thing as too much pasta, or too much sugar, or too much icing and things that are made of sugar. And it's things like that and a lack of exercise that have combined to have me weighing in at over 340 pounds right now. I know firsthand what I'm talking about here. And by the way, in these videos I've been doing, I haven't been doing regular reports of my weight because I do not have a scale. The only time I get my weight is when I go to the doctor's office, which thankfully isn't very often. However, that situation is about to change. I have ordered a scale. See the picture right here, this scale. When it gets here, I will do the obligatory unboxing video. I also found an interesting blog post that was a comparison about various types of artificial sweeteners, and I'll have a link to that in the more info section, and of course a link to the Wikipedia article where I found some of this stuff about sugars, and for the information about sugar cycle and some pretty good looking tips about how to try to beat that cycle. There's a blog post about how blood sugar affects weight loss. It's on caloriesperhour.com, and I'll have that link in the more info section. Okay, and now we get to the part of the exercise where I turn off the video and finish it. We'll see you next time. Keep on losing that weight.